Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue and I am back for another 911 review. This is the finale episode and I cried, okay? Crying. My shoulder was shaking. I was like, why is my shoulder shaking? I'm crying. But anyway, I'm sorry, in my life. Let's get into these notes. So the episode starts off, it's Christmas time and people are running to the stores to get gifts for their kids, right? This lady is trying to park. Some jerk takes her parking spot. She goes into the store. People are damn near trying to kill her, okay? She goes in the back. She gets the last doll that her daughter wanted. And some man snatches it out of her hands. At this point, she loses it and starts macing everybody. And I kind of felt like if you were going to stand in this lady's face, you deserve to get maced. Because I'd have just moved. I'd have took my gift and went to the front. While y'all dealing with this, I'm going to go ahead and get in this line, okay? Because once y'all realize what's going on, I might not be able to get my gift. Let me just go ahead and get my gift and go ahead and, get on up out of here. That would have been me. I wouldn't have been sitting up there, still trying to fight, talk down and all of this. But Santa tried to talk her down, okay? Santa was like, give me the mace. Give me the mace, ma'am. And I said, don't give him the mace. Don't give him the mace. But I was like, don't mace him. But she maced him. And then they called the cops and the paramedics had to come. Athena arrested her. She thought she was still going to get her doll, but the lady was like, no, ma'am, that's evidence. Evidence? What y'all going to do with the doll? Stop it. Stop it. Get that lady that damn doll. If I'm going to go to jail, y'all can at least make sure my daughter get this doll. Like, I ain't going to lie. I felt where the lady was coming from with that. Buck is trying to help Santa, and the kids are asking, is Santa going to die? Is Santa okay? And he's like, oh, he's not the real Santa. And they took that as, there isn't a Santa. But he was saying that this guy at this store isn't the real Santa. Messed up them kids' Christmas. Them kids was crying. Their parents, all red in the face because they all got maced. Like, first of all, if you taking your child with you to go buy their presents and getting in fights over it, you need to go ahead and hang it up and tell them the truth anyway, okay? Don't act like you wasn't doing nothing. You got maced because you was probably in here fighting over a toy for that child. So you want us to actually believe that those children believed there was a Santa Claus while they was sitting in the store? Child, get out of here. Get out of here with this, okay? It's time to tell your kids once it gets this serious. This is 2019. All of this stuff online. So Michael and the kids are back at the house putting up Christmas decorations in anticipation for Athena and Bobby coming home. Everybody's still worried about him having cancer and he's coming home from his final doctor's appointment for a while. And they get there and Michael sees an ornament that he was pulling out of the box and it was a picture of when they were a family and it just kind of made him feel some type of way. You can tell he was upset, so he left. And y'all, tonight, Rockman Dunbar liked my tweet. And I was just like, hey, Rockman Dunbar, I love you. Like, he's always Kenny from Soul Food to me. But at the end of the day, I will watch anything that he's in, okay? I'm about to start calling him his character from The Mentalist in a minute, okay? But either way, hey, Rockman Dunbar. Okay, so Eddie and Hen and Buck are trying to get into the Christmas spirit, but everybody has to work for Christmas. Nobody's really happy about that, especially not Eddie's son, Christopher. He even asked Buck if he can spend Christmas with him, but Buck is like, I gotta work too. And he was like, oh, your jobs suck. I'm like, they do. But they do something that's important. Like, they about to save people, okay? Their jobs are important. If they got to work on Christmas, saving somebody's life on Christmas is not the worst thing that you could do. Chimney and Maddie go to the lawyer's office because she is being given it was like $480 something thousand, like almost $500,000 from her dead husband's assets, okay? Because it was not murder, she is entitled to the money. And I'm like, girl, you better take that damn money, sitting up there talking about his blood money. You ain't kill him for it, did you? He tried to kill you. He kidnapped you. He tried to kill Chimney. At this point, I don't know why you still feel bad about it. He was asking for it, if you ask me, okay? She goes to therapy to discuss how she hasn't gotten over Doug. So her doctor wants her to go back to Big Bear where she, ended up having to, shiv him and retrace her steps so that she can let Doug's ass go. Because he's dead and she's still using sentences like Doug made me feel like and Doug's ruined Christmas. Doug is dead. He can't do anything that you don't let him do at this point, okay? It's you at this point. So Maddie and her doctor travel to Big Bear together, and she walks and traces her steps up to the point where, you know, he actually ended up dying. And once she gets there, she says, I'm going to forgive myself. She was like, I didn't want you to die, but I'm going to forgive myself, and I'm going to forgive you. And I'm going to get out of these woods and leave you right in them. Okay? She needed to. She needed to go and let it go and let the guilt go. Because at the end of the day, she still killed somebody. Everybody acts like, oh, she's not supposed to feel some type of way. No, she killed somebody that she loved for a large part of her life. Her life was all about that man, okay? And when she had to run and find freedom because she didn't want to die, okay, he finds her and tries to kill her. So, I mean, at this point, girl, we understand. You had to do what you had to do. We understand why it's hard for you, but please take that money. So a couple is heading to Hawaii for the holidays. Oh, I can't wait. One day I will leave my family behind, and me and my husband will go to an island. Like, I can't wait when I can afford that. Okay, because Hawaii is expensive, and I like to do it big. You know what I'm saying? House real big, car real big, belly real big. Let me tell you how I live. Like that, buy that. I'm sorry. Big timers. I'm sorry. My bad. It came and then I had to do it. Okay, so they're trying to get on the plane. They're checking in, and this guy thinks he's about to bring his golf clubs that he got for himself, a present for himself, okay? He wants to bring them on the plane. The lady is like, you can't bring those on the plane, sir. You have to get those checked. TSA policy, okay? So he's upset, all right? They put his golf clubs on that conveyor belt, and he watches sadly as they go and roll away. Now, they roll down to the folks that are putting the luggage on the cart so that they can then drive the cart to the plane and put the luggage under the plane. We all know how this works. One of the guys is just trying to get the job done and does not care about breaking people's things. The other guy cares and wants to do this delicately. There might be Christmas presents, and the guy just takes one of the packages and throws it in there and breaks it. And I'm just like, I hope you get fired. So the golf clubs were the last thing that the guy who cares picked up. And he was like, oh, it's all packed up. I'm gonna wait for another cart. The guy who doesn't care says, oh no, man, get this hustle, and takes it from him and pushes it down into the seat of the cart. But he pushes it down onto the pedal. So now the cart is just driving around, spewing luggage everywhere, hitting people, and the guy who cares has to go and get on one of those like little truck things they have out there on the airport floor. He has to go get on one of those so he can knock the golf clubs off of the pedal so that it will stop, okay? So once he finally does that, he saves the day. Everybody who's about to get on the flight is watching from the window, including the man whose golf clubs were a part of all of this, okay? Somebody didn't tell the person driving the plane. So he turned on the engines and the propellers start to spin. And they start to suck things in, including the nice guy who cared about everybody's luggage. It should have been the one who didn't, but it was the guy who cared. I thought he was dead, y'all. I don't know how somebody can live. But apparently, the golf clubs went in first and stopped the propeller. So once the man went in, he actually just kind of got caught in between the blades, but he didn't actually get cut or hurt or anything. It was a miracle. And they got him out of there, and Buck goes in and pulls out the clubs to show that this is what stopped him from dying. And the man who's watching sees his clubs all mangled and turned in and out and waved and all of this, and he just passes out. I said, first off, sir, if you can afford to buy those things, you probably can afford to buy them again. So you passing out about it a bit much, but I do understand. But that man almost died. F your clubs. Buck notices that Bobby's nose is bleeding, and he gets worried. They get back to the station, and he's still asking Bobby a million questions. This is the first time you bled. You have a rash. What else is going on? Like, just trying to basically, internet diagnose Bobby to make sure that he's okay. And Bobby wants him to let it go. Like, Buck, please leave me alone. I'm okay. Please leave me alone. It's just a nosebleed. It could have been because it was cold. It could have been because of anything. He's still worried about the cancer. Everybody's still worried about the radiation, and so is Buck. And Buck says, you are one of the most important people in my life. I don't know what I would do if you weren't here anymore. And it's when Bobby realizes how important it is to everybody around him that he not die. So y'all, Athena is in the bed sleeping, and you know, somebody gets in the bed next to her. We all assume it's Bobby. She assumes it's Bobby. He starts to, like, you know, take the covers, and she turns around. And y'all, it's Michael. Michael then came to the house and got in the bed with her. What the hell is going on? When he wakes up, he realizes that he must have been sleeping. He hasn't been getting any rest. They gave him sleeping pills. So he was actually driving, walking, whatever he did to get to her house, got the house and got in the bed, all while he was asleep. Okay? I forgot what they called it. But yeah, so now what is going on? Like, we're worried about Michael at this point. At first, I thought maybe he was drunk or something like that, but he wasn't. And he was like, you know, I'm going to give y'all the key back because I don't want to end up doing that again. I'm so sorry. Because obviously, you know, you're in a bed with your ex-wife. Bobby come home like, what the hell is going on? But Bobby, of course, Bobby don't feel like that. Michael and Bobby have a whole bond out here. They know that that's not what's going on, okay? But either way, he wants to give the key back. Athena like, this is your house too. And he was like, no, it's not. And he puts the key down and he leaves. And it's like, like I was sad. I don't know why I was so sad. So then we see this cute kid, right? Y'all, he cooking his mama some macaroni and cheese with sausages on the side and put the little garnish on the top like his daddy used to do. We don't know what happened, but we can just about assume the daddy probably passed away or something, right? He pulls out a list, a revised list, okay, that is like 4 pages long of the gifts he wants, but he has put them in order of importance so she can prioritize. She says so Santa Claus can prioritize. He like, mama, you know I know the truth. And she's like, baby, Christmas is about magic. Every other day of the year, every other month of the year feels like a regular day, regular schmegler. But as soon as you get to December, it's lights and bells and ching-a-ling-a-ling-ding-ding. And, you know, it's magic. And he's like, all right, mama, I'll go along with it. It's magic, you know. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Finding out that Santa Claus wasn't true did not do not one negative thing. I was like, oh, well, my people still buying me shit. Hey. Like, I enjoy Christmas so much. Something like that was not going to change how I felt about it. Like, it was still magical to me. We were still watching the Santa Claus and Miracle on 34th Street, the 93 version. We were still doing all the things we did. I was still getting my hot chocolate at night, and I was still, you know what I'm saying, like waiting until morning for my daddy to put all the gifts under the tree. So nothing actually changed except for the fact that we didn't need to call my auntie and uncle anymore for them to pretend like they were Mr. and Mrs. Claus, okay? They really tried to keep us kids in our family. So sweet. So sweet. But anyway, okay, the mom seemed to have been having like some chest pains throughout that conversation, but then she falls out and brings the Christmas tree with her. He calls Maddie on the 911 line, and she ends up helping him perform CPR until Bobby, Hen, and Chimney get there. She had some type of heart attack or something like that. They say she was in cardiac arrest. But they were able to get a pulse popping. But let me tell y'all, the time it took for them to do whatever they were doing to her, you know, they, I guess, V-fib, whatever they call that, when they, you know, pump your body back up, or, you know, electrocute your heart so it'll start pumping again. I know that's what it is. I just never know what anything's called, y'all. I'm sorry, okay? But either way, they're doing that on her. And that little boy is sitting outside on the porch crying. And y'all, this is the moment when I was boo-hoo crying. I was boo-hoo crying in this moment. Because it's like, oh, Lord, please don't let this little boy mama die. That looked like that's all he got. Please don't let this little boy mama die, y'all. I was just, oh, my God. I was crying. But they got her up. They got her into the ambulance. She seemed to be responsive. At least she woke up. And he couldn't go with her. A police officer had to stay with him until CPS came. But Hen was kind of there comforting him before the cop lady showed up. So it was just so sad. And then we found out later on that little boy gonna have to stay in like a group home until his mom gets out the hospital. I'm like, my child can stay in the hospital with me. What is this? Like, bring him to the hospital. So y'all, we see Michael doing his holiday shopping, but his vision is blurry. He seems dizzy. And then we see him walk through a plate glass window. Now we know it's an issue. He goes to the hospital and Athena comes to pick him up and he says it's nothing. He doesn't really tell her what's going on, but she knows something is wrong. And she tells him that all of the things that she's been seeing is telling her that something is wrong, but he doesn't want to tell her what it is just yet. But he thanks her for coming to get him. And she was like, I love you. And he was like, I love you. Like, they're still family. They still love each other, even though that love is different now. It probably wasn't ever really what they thought it was. But you know how for women can love a man so much that we overlook certain things, like kind of thinking they might be gay. And men can enjoy sex with women to the point where they can still have it, even if it's not really what they want. Okay, so yeah, all right, you look at that situation and you can realize and see how the bond that they have just as people is what made them stay in a marriage for so long. You know what I'm saying? But either way, like the love that they have for one another, y'all, it's just, oh my God, and I'm so worried about Michael. But I know that if Rockman Dunbar dies on 911, he's going to be on somebody else's show soon enough. And I'm going to just have to be on the lookout for where Rockman Dunbar going to show up next. Because, I feel like I kind of follow him around as far as the shows that he's on. He did tell her that he was sleep deprived and this would be his first Christmas alone. That was another thing that made me feel some type of way. And she reminded him that he was not alone. You're not going to be alone. So don't feel like that. He need a man. That's what that is. So y'all, Hen goes home to Karen. And while they're pulling all of the son's gifts out of the attic, and it's a lot, okay? Karen must have just lost track of how much she had gotten for him. They discussed the kid that Henrietta, helped. She, the mom and everything. And how he has to go to a group home until his mom gets out the hospital. And in their conversation, you can kind of already tell that having a baby themselves may not be the option, but helping kids out there that need somebody might be the option. From that conversation, I can just tell. She bought all of those presents. I was like, child, y'all can get them presents to somebody else. Okay? Get that little boy, most of them, or, a good percentage. And then get the rest of them toys to somebody else who needs them, who is less fortunate, I was watching Greedy. I don't know if y'all ever seen that. It's a Michael J. Fox movie. I was obsessed with 90s Michael J. Fox movies, so I've seen like almost all of them, like Life with Mikey and shit. It's my stuff, okay? But anyway, he was talking on Greedy about how upset he was that his dad would make him give away his toys, and not just the used ones, the good ones too, okay? And I'm like, that's messed up. Don't do that to your kids. If you're gonna, you want them to be gracious, you want them to learn about giving, you have to teach them that they need to give. So instead of giving your child a brand new present to give away, let your child play for it for one Christmas and then have them gifted to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, giving away new toys is not the business, okay? I'm just saying. But yeah, please give some of them toys away. Don't tell them they for him either. Like, just, hide them or something like that. But don't tell that little boy that y'all are giving presents he hasn't even opened yet to somebody else. That's just terrible. Some old mommy dearest shit. It's not cool. So Bobby gets his test back from the hospital and he is radiation and cancer free. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, look. We glad because we don't need Bobby to die. Okay. So a lady at home, young woman, she's on the phone with her mom. She has a toothache. Her mom is telling her, stop taking all of that damn medicine. You took too much of that medicine, because she's looking for the medicine to put on her tooth. Okay. Benzocaine. Takes a glob. I was like, girl, why would you put all that benzocaine in your mouth? That's nasty, is that? Glob of benzocaine, puts it on the tooth, goes to sleep, wakes up, she's blue. Like, oompa, doompa, doopity doo. I have another puzzle for you. So the crew gets there and she starts seizing up. And basically what they tell us, once they find all the benzocaine in the trash can, that she took so much of it, it stopped her from creating red blood cells. So they had to give her methylene blue to change her iron into ferocious or furious. I don't know. I don't know these technical terms, but either way, they gave her 2 hits of something that turned her blood back, red. And so then her skin wasn't reflecting blue anymore. That's what was going on. Like, there was no red blood cells popping anywhere. So she was reflecting blue. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know if that can really happen because y'all know y'all be doing all kind of magical shit on 911. You know, like letting people live that we know should have died. Okay? So yeah, but it was just crazy. And she still had that toothache. And she had to go to work that day. She was like, oh my God, I'm not blue, but how am I going to work with this toothache? And him was like, girl, you just earned yourself a day off in a morphine drip. I'm going to take you down to the hospital. You're going to be all right. So since everybody was complaining this entire time about the crew having to work for Christmas, Athena brings everybody's family to the station so that they can enjoy the holiday together. They cooked up all this food. They decorated. They even brought that young boy who was going to the group home. They brought the group home. Karen brought the whole group home there so that the kids could spend some time with some other people and get out, because they don't have a lot of foster homes available. They have, you know, an overflow of children that need somewhere to stay. So they brought them there, and when Henrietta saw that, she was like, baby, I know this might be crazy, but before she could finish saying it, Karen was like, girl, I already made the appointment for us to go down there and talk to the people so we can become foster parents. I already know. There are other ways to have a family. I was like, y'all gotta know that sometimes when things don't work out the way you want it to is because there's another avenue that you probably haven't even thought of yet that is better. So yeah, that made me think about that. Maddie actually brought the kid's mom from the hospital. They were gonna let her out the day after anyway, the day after Christmas, but she was like, I could not spend Christmas with my son. So he comes running down the stairs, Mom, it's like, come on. You know, they go back upstairs so everybody can sit at the table and have dinner together. And then they give presents to all the kids. I'm sure some of these presents were all of those presents that Karen bought. So everybody's enjoying each other's company. Buck and Athena were the ones that actually kicked all of this off. So it was amazing for them to do that for everybody. And Bobby sees Michael standing alone. So he goes over to him. He's like, what's going on? He was like, nothing, man. I'm just enjoying this great time we're having together. But Bobby can tell by now that something is not right. So he says, what's really going on, Michael? And Michael says that he found out that he has a tumor on his brain and that he is supposed to go to the specialist and everything. And that's when he'll tell the kids and Athena what's going on. But for right now, he just wants everybody to enjoy the holiday. And I was just like, we find out Bobby all right just so we can find out that Michael could die? Oh, I can't take y'all 911. I cannot take y'all. All I know is y'all better not kill him off, okay? He better go to the hospital and get treatment and be okay and meet a nice nurse or a doctor that he could get with. That's what this better be working this way too. Do y'all hear me, writers? I can't deal with y'all. I can't deal with y'all. That was it, y'all. It was good. It was good, okay? And I'm about to go watch the last 2 seasons of The Mentalist again so that I could just watch Rockman Dunbar be healthy. Maybe I need to just go watch Soul Food again. I'm gonna just start Soul Food. It's just like I got it on DVD. I ain't feel like changing the DVDs all the time. But anyway, y'all, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all in the next one.